Hi, it's Ileana. So I'm doing remote viewings on the Epstein UFO files, and the stuff is interesting. I mean, they didn't have any direct stuff on UFOs as how they work, crash retrievals, recoveries. What they have these files is bits and pieces of literally like who are the scientists, which labs, how much funding here and there goes to the programs. So it's kind of like scattered. What I've seen so far in the remote viewing is scattered information throughout the files. Not direct evidence of UFOs, but bits and pieces and fragments, and also having desire to research anti-gravity and putting feelers out there with scientists, asking questions, looking for funding, allocation of funding, lists of names of the top scientists working on anti-gravity itself, curiosity about UFOs for sure, and esoteric knowledge. Both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, they both were heavy into esoteric knowledge, studying that, how that worked, wanting to know the secrets of the universe. I'm sensing that's part of the files as well, scattered throughout. Esoteric stuff and things related to UFOs and connected to UFOs. A lot of lists of names, people, places, schmoozing parties, networking, negotiating, like trying to make deals to find out stuff about UFOs and trying to open doors and collect people into groups. Like, who's the scientists that are going to be working on this lab? Who's going to learn about this stuff? How anti-gravity works? How do UFOs function? Like the nuts and bolts of it. But not anything that is specific. Anything connected to the reverse engineering programs, to actual UFO knowledge, that is not stored in something like the Epstein files, because it's far beyond that. That kind of data is secured. It is heavily classified. It's high above the pay grade of Jeffrey Epstein to have access to full knowledge. I think he and Ghislaine were part of a group of network of people who knew how secret societies work, and they were part of that framework, and also the business world of gaining knowledge, bits and pieces about UFO stuff, the occult, the esoteric, anomalous phenomenon, bits and pieces here and there that's scattered in their files, which can provide some glimpses into disclosure of how they operated and what information they stored and what they wanted. In terms of that, the Epstein UFO files do reveal some of those motivations and aspects of how their weird operations worked, because they had their hands in many different interests of what they wanted to know. How the universe works, how to get access to zero-point technology, how to move themselves upwards in the hierarchy of being on top. That's what they were interested in quite a bit. Whatever motivated them, whatever they wanted to know about, they would put out hints and feelers to get people who are knowledgeable about the subjects of UFOs, anti-gravity. They would literally cultivate the networks to bring those people together, to give them the information and ask questions of the appropriate people on their lists of contacts and networks. So they were good at networking They were good at bringing people together to find out what they wanted in whatever capacity they could get their hands on that information of what people would give them. Then they catalog that info in a huge, I guess, networked Rolodex, a list, files. They kept a lot of names. They kept a lot of profiles on people, events, what happened, how it happened. Probably some things led to blackmail of how they got their info. So they were a huge network of what they had on file of things, a lot of different things, including very inappropriate stuff that they did to living beings. In what they both were arrested for and finally charged with, that was heinous. So there's a reason why both ended up in prison. One first, the other later. So the Epstein files are extensive. There's like 3 million to 6 million files, and only 3 million have been released publicly. Some of it hasn't been released by the DOJ. It's still redacted. So only like 3 million files are available of what's been released. It's just the tip of the iceberg of what is still classified, and some of the files are redacted. So there's interesting aspects of disclosure here. So I look forward to putting out that remote viewing soon. But I wanted to give a glimpse of what is it going to be about.